Is on the rise, making that dough in the crypto paradise. Watching it go, buying low, selling high. Riding the wave, I'm here to stay, living in the digital age. No banks, no fees, just decentralized. It's crypto paradise. Ooh. No banks, no fees.
All right, what is going on, Crypto Paradise? Friends and fam, degens, hodlers, DCAers around the world. I'm back once again, Web3 Nate, Crypto Hitman, Noah Maru today. He is on his way to Tulum, to the Paradise Pad to film some content, getting ready for the big getaway, the in-person, in real life event that we're going to be hosting later this year. I think the Hitman's going to be joining him here shortly. But joining us today is the one and only, the real Xavier. Xavier, what's going on, man? Welcome to the Crypto Paradise live stream. How we doing?
Yo, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you guys. It's quite a pleasure to be on a live stream with you guys. And yeah, really appreciate.
Well, Xavier, I know a lot of people are very familiar with this guy right here, with yourself. We've got Xavier University going here, one of the most classic memes out there. Tell us a bit about your history. How did you get into, you've got massed quite the following now, almost 500,000 people. As I understand it, you didn't start out in Web3. You started out as a, kind of a regular influencer, making, as we call the shit posts, making memes, having fun online, and amassed a following there. But yeah, tell us a bit about your journey. How did you get started? What brought you into crypto, and what eventually led you to Pulse Chain? Because now we know you are a big fan of everything Pulse Chain.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Am I audible on your guys' side?
We got you loud and clear, man.
Okay, 100%. Yeah, so I'm real Xavier. I'm located in South Africa, and yeah, I just joined Pulse Chain 3 weeks ago, and I believe that I'm chasing my fourth week. So yeah, great community, great people. Everything is all hyped up each and every day. So yeah, I just got introduced to Pulse Chain. I saw how you guys accepted me, and I started pushing from there. I said, you know what, I want to fall under this community, and yeah, this is where I am now with you guys and all that. So just 5 days ago or 4 days ago, I just launched the token, Xavier University. I'm new to crypto. I don't know crypto very well. I'm not well experienced that much, and I'm just here to learn from you guys that are already experienced. So yeah, this is me.
Yeah, I mean, it was really cool. I heard you speaking on one of the spaces with KR and I think it was Panos last night. I think people were pleasantly surprised with you coming on and actually talking there. Also, it's kind of funny. I think it was KR Panos is like, oh, you're not an Indian? Like they, making a joke about you're not the guy in your PFP, but that is a classic meme here in crypto. There's the Indian wearing all the jewelry, all the chains, saying you're here for the tech. So I think it's a good meme. Finding yourself on Pulse Chain, launching on pump tires when it's getting hot. And I see that you're already listed on Liberty Swap, and you got emit farms and a couple other things. So it'll be interesting to see if Pulse Chain, rallies around the meme, rallies around you. And I think so far, they've been tracking your wallets. You haven't sold any tokens, and you're proving that you're not a G'd, and you're trying to be here for the long term. So, pump tires launches, it gets bonded, it has a pump. They always come back down because they're launching near zero. Currently, you're sitting at like 60 to 70,000 market cap, and now you're starting to actually speak in spaces and get your brand and your name out there on Pulse Chain. So we'll see what happens. And there's the contract address in the bio of the real Xavier right there, which is also good to see. So you can just paste that in Dex Tools, Dex Screener, PulseX, and figure out everything you need to know about the XVR token for Xavier. So I think the biggest reason why we're supporting you or having you on this live show is a lot of your community is not crypto native. You built a community not talking about crypto, talking about politics, talking about your heritage, whatever it may be, and now you're getting into crypto. So I think a lot of us see this as an opportunity to help educate and onboard your community as well. So if your community is watching right now, welcome to Crypto Paradise. We talk everything crypto on a daily basis, from the beginner stuff all the way to the super advanced. We talk about Bitcoin and Ethereum, of course, but we talk about great opportunities like XVR, Surf, and the Pulse Chain Blue chips over on this undervalued network. So hopefully you continue to stay tuned, you learn a little bit, and we guys can help you on your goal of financial freedom and the journey of cryptocurrency, which is very hard to go about by yourself.
Yeah, 100%, 100%, Nick. Yeah, it's good. It's good that I'm still learning and I'm getting a lot of advice from people like you to go about crypto and the Pulse Chain community. And yeah, you just stated facts. I'm here for a long term. I'm here to come and learn. I've heard that there's a lot going on. There are people that are taking advantage over other people, and I'm like, you know what? I am not here for that. I'm just here to protect my reputation. I'm here to make sure that everything works well for me, and also I can start a community here in South Africa that will fall under Pulse Chain and all that. As you can see on my page, I'm a person that likes having fun, a lot of fun, and all that. So I'm just new on crypto, and I'm trying to get my followers into crypto. And my following right there is not built around crypto, so I'm just taking it step by step and all that. So yeah, I have close to around about 1 billion views in a year. I make around about I've made around about like 15 million views in 7 days. Um, in 6 months, I have around about like 300 million views. So man, Pulse Chain is still going further than this. Yeah, I understand. Pulse Chain is still going further than this, but unfortunately, I just came into a community where a lot of people already know you guys. And when I look at that, it's still hard for me to maneuver around the community itself. You understand? So that's what I'm into right now. That's why I'm going into spaces, introducing myself to prove how legitimate I am. And yeah, man, here I am. I'm starting streams right now. So yeah.
That's awesome. Well, everybody watching over on Twitter, the 200 people watching on Twitter, or the handful of people watching on YouTube, make sure to hit that like, subscribe, and retweet button. I'm going to take a look at the Ethereum chart. While I do that, Xavier, if you want to quote tweet this live show, go over to the Crypto Paradise Twitter. You'll see it live there, and you can give it a quote tweet to your community. And hopefully they can learn a little bit, get into crypto, and find some gains with what we're about to talk about with Ethereum, Bitcoin, and some other things here. If you've been following along Crypto Paradise, guys, these lines have not changed for months. We had the official buy here just below $1,800, looking for upside targets of $4,350. Look what happened. Right when we got to the target, we stalled, and then we had this 4,800 target based off this ascending triangle breakout. It rallied exactly up to that point, and of course, we've seen the sell-off over the past few days. The major support was that 4350 level. It held over the weekend with Sharplink Gaming buying a ton of Ethereum, but it gave it all up so far early this week. Major support level is 3,900. I would be surprised if that breaks unless it's just a wick. This would be a bullish retest of this ascending triangle. So nothing bearish, even if this comes all the way down to 3,900, still a very bullish formation for Ethereum and looking for upside objectives to new all-time highs above $5,000 per ETH. We do see that the indicators are getting close to oversold on both the RSI and the technometer, and this is a very just orderly decline. There has been no capitulation. Normally you will see some kind of capitulation before the reversal, but we do know Ethereum's been acting a little bit different due to the institutional demand, and retail is starting to get interested in Ethereum again. If you are new to crypto, normally for the past 8 years, I say get on Coinbase or Robinhood or Binance or whatever it is for your country and just buy some Bitcoin. But I think at this moment in time, at this part of the market cycle, for this cycle, I would probably say get on Coinbase, get on Robinhood, get on Binance, whatever it is, and buy Ethereum. I think we're in the point of the cycle where Ethereum starts outperforming Bitcoin. Very low risk trade with institutional demand, and it is poised to really outperform Bitcoin. The reason being is Bitcoin's already been making all-time highs for the past 6 to 8 months, and Ethereum still is yet to break its all-time high from the 2020-2021 cycle, and all the macro fundamentals are pointing to much higher upside objectives by the end of this year and into 2026. What do you think, Web3 Nate?
Yeah, I saw a great post today I think it was from Miles Duchner saying, if you're worried about the dip right now, if you're thinking about selling, if you're not sure if you should buy the dip, if you're kind of stuck, if you're feeling the FOMO, feeling the FUD, he said, simply think, do you think ETH is going to be higher in 6 months than it is right now? And I think without a doubt, pretty much everybody we talked to is going to say, yeah, probably. And he goes, and that's the answer to your question. Now, I think, obviously we're taking an even longer look. We've talked both with Bitcoin and Ethereum. We've looked at, 5 and 10-year horizons. Do you think in 5 years, do you think in 10 years from now, ETH is going to be higher than where it is right now? And I think the answer is a resounding, absolutely, 100% yes. Obviously, never financial advice, but it seems like a no-brainer to me. If you're a trader, trust your TA, trust your system you put together. If you're not a trader like me, if you're looking to DCA and hold long-term, I think this is a gift, a blessing, this dip that we're getting right here to scoop up and fill up some more bags on Ethereum here. So get out there and sell them cans like we talked about yesterday. Start getting that can money. Get ready to buy some more ETH and some more Bitcoin.
Xavier, I know you're new to crypto, so you're probably not much of a TA guy, but you've probably been here. You're here now because you think you see opportunity. And I know you're focusing on Pulse Chain, but Ethereum affects Pulse Chain in a big way because the Pulse Chain sacrifice wallet actually holds 166,000 Ethereum worth over $700 million. Do you have any perspective or interest in Ethereum, or are you pretty much focusing just on Pulse Chain?
Okay, so I'll just be honest with you. I am also focused on Ethereum because one thing that I've noticed is that the bull market coming from Ethereum also affected the PLS and also the hacks. When I got to look at those tokens on what you call internet money wallet, and I noticed that, oh wow, every time when Ethereum goes up, also the PLS goes up, also the hex goes up. You understand? And I don't know how that works, and I need so much explanation when it comes to that. But if anyone has missed Bitcoin bull market, Ethereum is your best bet. Ethereum is your best bet for everything right now, because I'm a major fan of Donald Trump. Donald Trump has been buying Ethereum from the beginning of the year up until now. Last week he bought around about like 10 million of Ethereum. So yeah, man, I'm following whatever that Trump is doing. So I'm bullish on Ethereum.
It is pretty interesting because I believe you're from South Africa, and it seems like Donald Trump has actually made like a global impact, not only on the markets, but just like what he is doing is being watched and criticized or broken down by people all over the globe. And it seems like you're on the side of pro Donald Trump because you're new into crypto and you already realize that if the United States supports crypto adoption, that it's going to benefit your own bags and your own people that are invested in crypto as well. And I think you're spot on. It's pretty interesting that new to crypto, you already understand that Ethereum is impacting Pulse Chain. And it happens for a couple of reasons. Number one, Ethereum, when it moves up, it brings speculation into the market, and it also helps the altcoin market, which is all the different tokens, including XVR that you launched, go up as well, because that means you're getting retail onboarded, liquidity bonding, so the Ethereum price goes up. It helps all the other smaller assets go up as well. And that's what we see with Pulse Chain, a couple things. It is liquidity bonded with Ethereum, meaning you can trade Pulse Chain assets and EHEX on ETH, which means in the liquidity pool, ETH is there as well. So when the price goes up, it helps drag those assets up slowly as well and build some momentum. Number two, I already mentioned it. If we go to ethereumstrategicreserve.com, this is a good website for your followers to keep an eye on. If it will load here, you can see all the businesses that are buying up and holding Ethereum for their Ethereum Strategic Reserve. And if you look at number 5, you see the Pulse Chain Sacrifice wallet here. And this wallet holds 166.3 thousand Ethereum worth $688 million. So does all of that money come into Pulse Chain, or in what way? Nobody really knows, but people speculate that as they see that number go up, wow, that is a lot of money that could help pump Pulse Chain or bring speculation, bring users, and bring developers over to the Pulse Chain network. So that is why when ETH does well, Pulse Chain is doing very well. The speculation turns on, the morale turns on, and the momentum turns on. And we're also going to see in the next couple of weeks a big marketing push in the United States, as over 100,000 individual households will be receiving physical devices promoting Pulse Chain, PulseX, and Hex. So we'll see how this all plays out, but it is good to see that new people to the space are understanding the impact that Ethereum has on the market. And whether you own ETH or not, you should be rooting for Ethereum to go higher, because it is going to make all your other altcoins go higher much faster.
Well, Xavier, you made a very good point earlier. For
Nice.
someone so new to Web3, to cryptocurrencies and investing in this market, something that it took even the biggest investors in the world up until very recently to figure out. And that's, if you have the risk appetite a little more than for Bitcoin, if you're fearing that you're not going to get the returns you want from Bitcoin, well, Ethereum is your next safest and next best bet. So we've seen all these Ethereum strategic reserves coming up in the last few months. And there's one person who figured that out before anyone, and that was Mr. Richard Hart. Way back when, well, I don't know, help me out here, Hitman, when was that? But he essentially was the OG who started the original crypto strategic reserve with the Pulse Chain SAC. So yeah, if you're a fan of Ethereum, nobody called Ethereum earlier than the founder of Hex and Pulse Chain, Mr. Richard Hart himself. So I think you found the right communities here, man.
Yeah, to go with that, it was like at the
um,
end of 24 when he got involved, and we made the video. And when I made my first video predicting the Ethereum Strategic Reserve would be the narrative to drive the market, none of these companies were on here. It was literally Ethereum Foundation, Pulse Chain, and Coinbase. None of these other companies had even got it started yet. So, people question the timing on the buy, but nonetheless, you're in ETH. ETH's doing well, and Ethereum's going to go much higher. And this Pulse Chain Stack wallet, it's not going to take long for this to be over $1 billion. And it doesn't take much money to inflow into Pulse Chain for that chain to absolutely rip. So I'll let you get talking, Xavier, and see what your thoughts are on here, and maybe you learned a little something, and your community learned a little something as well.
Yeah. So what I can say is that I didn't know when I came to this community. I didn't know that there was a community that exists that has a lot of members, and it's quite also shocking that each and every day, a lot of people are hosting tokens of via Pump Tire, and you see like a day maybe 10 tokens are being launched. This and that, so it raises the competition very high, and a lot of people are literally coming up, are coming to Pulse Chain. And yeah, and one thing that I've also even noticed was that I used to use Coin Market Cap to look at the top 10 tokens that are out there leading and everything. And then when I look at the market cap coming from the PLS, the Hex, and I was like, these tokens deserve to be on the top 20 on the Coin Market Cap, and they are listed around about number 2000 there. So it's something that is very much unfair for a community to be listed that far rather than being listed at the top 20 and all that. So all I can say is that Pulse Chain is actually going far. It's actually going further. With my token, I am going to stay with my token up until it reaches its height. Right now, it's literally at its lowest. When I launched it 4 days ago, as a person that doesn't know crypto, we hit around about like 500,000, and then it started dipping down. Now we're at our lowest, but we are looking forward to hitting our first million market cap in a few weeks or months to come. So we just invested in Pulse Chain. We invested in a community, and I'm also building my own community. So yeah, I want to also bring Pulse Chain here in South Africa because a lot of people don't know crypto. So yeah.
Yeah, and the easiest way to get onto Pulse Chain is Liberty Swap Finance. And the reason that Pump Tires is catching on so much is Pump Tires is allowing really anybody to create a meme coin. The nice thing about Pump Tires versus Pump Fun on Solana, Pump Fun on Solana has proven to extract nearly $1 billion out of the crypto market. All of the dev work on Pump Tires goes towards locking and burning PLS and buying and burning PLSX, which means that all those fees are staying in the Pulse Chain ecosystem and trying to pump the bags. And we've also been seeing Liberty Swap strategically marketing and listing Pump Tires tokens and altcoins, including Surf Token and some others, trying to get the appetite for altcoins, trying to get the green candles over on Pulse Chain to get retail to come over to Pulse Chain, which will obviously help the network effect in that chain grow. So if you're interested, Liberty Swap is now the easiest way to get on Pulse Chain, and I think they're going to be adding the Sol network very soon. So we're going to have to reach out to all of our Solana degens and try to get them over the bridge. Just a couple clicks. And the crazy thing is Liberty Swap is actually eating a lot of the fees for base chain to try to get people onboarded to Pulse Chain as well. So you make a good point there. You're seeing a lot of Pump Tires activity, and that's because Liberty Swap, the biggest bridge, is supporting all these launches. Some do well, some go to zero, guys. There's no guarantees on Pump Tire tokens or any token for that matter, but do some research on the token itself, the token utilities, the memes, and the people behind the projects, and understand that the Liberty Swap is trying to create a wave of hype to get new users onboarded. The biggest and best marketing is green candles in crypto, and Liberty Swap or whoever's behind this platform understands that. And it's been a big onboarder the past couple weeks to Pulse Chain, and that's why we're seeing the nice outperformance of Pulse Chain versus some other networks as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we are all our followers here are bullish and excited about the future for Pulse Chain. I didn't really know anything about it until I'd heard rumors about Richard Hart and who he was, and all the typical stuff that you hear. But once we actually started researching where we wanted to launch the Surf token, started seeing all the advantages of what's going on with Pulse Chain, and of course, there's a lot of enigmatic figures within Web3. Obviously, we know some of the more famous ones, but we've also seen Charles Hoskinson is a very, very good example of how far a leader like that, someone who's very charismatic, gets out there, gets on the internet, is the face of the project, how far they can lead them. And Richard Hart, to this point, has for the last few years, or the last year and a half or so, kind of had the handcuffs on. The suits with the SEC kept him from going out and evangelizing the project. Now that is coming to an end, I would expect to see a return from him soon. Again, the potential for Pulse Chain to go to new heights. Now, for people out there that are watching this, if you're, you got a beef with Richard Hart, if you got a beef with the tech, whatever, at the end of the day, if you're in this to make money, that's kind of what, the way I look at this. Look at the probabilities, look at what's built, look at the communities, look at what Pulse Chain's done in the past. Look at what other networks like Cardano, who have these very enigmatic figures at the head of them, have done. Look at how the liquidity webs work on Pulse Chain, and look at the Pulse Chain stack that's sitting there. That all of that Ethereum that has yet to come in to this ecosystem. So, at the end of the day, if you're in it for the gains, if you're in it to make some life-changing money and make some, big bags, sometimes it's good to set aside your personal feelings or your pride on, if you don't necessarily maybe like the guy who's the face of the company. Obviously, if there's, an actual moral issue or something like that, it's a different story. But, if you just think maybe you don't like the guy, or you're if you're kind of getting into your own personal biases, we got a story later. We're going to show you about how bad, how much having personal biases can cost you in investing. But
yeah, if you want to, if you want to pull up the next news articles, we'll get into those. And shout out to Martin saying hello in the chat box. Web3 says welcome, Martin. And then Martin says, wow, XVR. You can also farm with XVR token on emit farms. Yeah, I think it's paying like 300% APR. You can pair XVR with emit. Also, you can pair Surf with emit to earn about 100% APR over there. So DeFi is an opportunity in Pulse Chain. Put your tokens to work and earn some passive income.
Yeah, I was just rambling a bit there about how we can let our own personal biases get in the way of us, coming forward and taking advantage of opportunities. For myself personally, I missed out on a bunch of meme coins because I had a bias that meme coins were all garbage. Meme coins will never be a thing. I'm better than that. I'm not a meme coin investor. I invest in these type of projects. And because of that, I missed out on a lot of money. I missed out on Pepe. I missed out on Mog. I missed out on a bunch of early entries at the beginning of the really, the peak bull run we saw for memes, 18 that started 18 months ago, back in 2023. And that was because of my own personal biases. Until I got over that, it cost me a lot of money. And here's another great example of that. Mr. Kenneth S. Rogoff, a very famous Harvard economist, famous for 10 years ago saying it's more likely for Bitcoin to be worth $100 than $100,000. Obviously, he has been proven very, very wrong, to the tune that his employer, Harvard, has now invested, what is it, 100 million or something, $60 million into Bitcoin themselves very recently here. But coming out and making the talk of crypto Twitter yesterday, coming out, and rather than coming out and saying, hey, I was wrong, I've learned, I'm going to now, encourage people to get into this amazing asset class. I'm going to look at getting this asset class myself. Nope, came out, doubled down, and said, everyone else is wrong. The only reason Bitcoin went up is because everybody's wrong, and they're too stupid to see how it's really a Ponzi and blah, 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 blah. Blamed Trump, blamed pretty much everybody but himself. And kind of came out and doubled down on his original statement, once again showing don't let your personal biases get in the way of good opportunities here. So I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know if
pretty
you guys.
wild. It's almost like the Peter Schiff effect. Just Peter Schiff knew about Bitcoin was $100 and just continually talked shit about it, even though he could have just bought some and been involved. Xavier, did you ever know about crypto before in the past and just kind of thought it was a scam and didn't look at it, or are you simply just now finding out about crypto? Like, is there some of these biases that you were able to overcome?
Yeah.
Because I think the biggest thing for people is it's okay to have the bias. You just have to know when to start pivoting to take advantage of the opportunity as new information comes out.
True. So one thing that I've noticed was that crypto came in an era where forex was literally booming in my country, and people were looking at it like, okay, what's this new thing? Nobody took it serious, and I think the Bitcoin was trading on around about $150 that time, and yeah, if I knew that this was going to be the next big thing, I would have jumped in that time. But yeah, it was forex. It was in an era of forex. Donald Trump was still became president in that era, and then from forex, then Donald Trump left office, and then the forex thing died down, and then now NFTs came in that period. From NFT now it's crypto all the way, crypto all the way. So yeah, I do have regrets. I thought it was a scam. I don't want to lie. We were literally at our peak of being scammed all over the world. So yeah, but yeah, here we are. Crypto now. That is being world's number one. Politicians are talking about crypto everywhere you go. It's the United States. It's willing to put in reserves of crypto. That side, China is busy burning crypto and busy on burning crypto. I don't know what's happening that side of Asia. So yeah, Europe on the other edge is saying that okay, we are also regulating crypto. This is going to be the next big thing. So yeah, man, I think the banks are stressed right now with whatever that's happening because we're not gonna need banks. We're just gonna use our phones to pay for everything and all that. So yeah.
Yeah, that's always been the promise of crypto, and it's good to see. Hey, look, you heard about it, you kind of brush it off the shoulder. You kind of thought it was a scam. Your friend group thought it was a scam, but all these years later, you're able to see the opportunity now, to see the light, and you're getting involved. So that's how it starts: one person at a time, one community at a time. Not being like Kenneth S. Rogoff here, who had a chance to buy Bitcoin at 100,000, had a chance to buy it at $100, and is still bearish, even though Harvard themselves, the kind of the uh, college that he represents just bought 100 million Bitcoin at $100,000 each. It's pretty wild that people can't pivot in life, but I guess that's what happens. And have fun staying poor.
Well, yeah, and as I read into this a little more, he might, you mentioned the Peter Schiff effect here. Whenever Peter Schiff goes on and shits on Bitcoin, he's always shilling something, shilling some program, shilling some gold course, shilling some whatever. I think we might have a copycat here, taking advantage of being able to get his second 15 minutes in fame here to try and shill his book, which it looks like he's doing in here. So maybe the guy, he might be another Peter Schiff, where in the background he's actually got his nice little stockpile of Bitcoin, but he's out here talking shit just to get back in the news and move a few
You,
books.
you buy the book and you open it up and it just says buy Bitcoin. He just got one
Yeah.
over on everybody. All right, on to the next news article. We're already 30 minutes into this. Make sure to hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Shout out to the 200 people over on Twitter watching, and shout out to the handful of people over on YouTube watching. Make sure to catch the full replay and learn more about Xavier, Pulse Chain, the XVR token, the Surf token, and more. After these news articles, we will go over the Crypto Paradise website for those new people to the channel to show you more of what we're about and the Surf token, how you can get involved there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Before we jump into some other stories, kind of want to paint a little picture of what's going on with the markets here. Ethereum ETF inflows. If you remember back, we started out the month a little bit bearish, a couple red days there, but absolutely lit it up in the middle of the week, about a week ago, a little over a week ago, setting the record day with over $1 billion in inflows there. in a single day on either side of it. You know, half a billion here, half a billion here, 700, 640. So, you know, kind of finishing out the last couple days here in the red as well. Obviously, as you know, a lot of red in the markets at the moment, but still August for the month, over $1.2 billion in the positive there. So yeah, nothing is, you know, this is far, far, far from over. You know, we talked a bit about yesterday, kind of some of the opportunities that are happening with some Ethereum getting unstaked, with some of the shorts going on in the market here. Guys, at the end of the day, it's a consolidation period. Perfectly healthy during this market. We are seeing more and more companies coming in, talking about building their own strategic Ethereum reserves or digital asset treasury strategies, similar to what MicroStrategy is doing with Bitcoin. You know, again, at the end of the day, do you think Bitcoin, do you think Ethereum is going to be higher in 6 months than it is today? Do you think it's going to be higher in 5 years from now, 10 years from now? You know, adjust your strategies accordingly.
Yeah,
Bitcoin.
that's interesting to see because the headlines always say, "Oh, BlackRock sold, Fidelity sold." That it isn't BlackRock or Fidelity selling their Ethereum, guys. They are simply a custodian for thousands and hundreds of retail investors in the traditional markets, and they have emotions just like you. Now, they don't. They're new to the space, and they're buying via ETF, Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs that don't pay them passive income. So when they see red in the market, they're trying to get out to collect their profits as well. Although a bulk of them, if you look at how much these outflows are compared to the overall holdings, are programmed to invest into these ETFs and hold for the long term, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, until retirement. That is what we're trying to tell you. But there is going to be trading of these assets. It isn't the companies themselves, it's individual traditional finance people panic selling, just like they're trying to get you to do as well. Don't sell your Bitcoin or your Ethereum to BlackRock right now. Figure out a way to buy more. And if we hit that $3,900 major support, be part of the buying power to flip that and allow us to run towards all-time highs. And it looks like the bull flag measured move is somewhere around $5,375, putting in new all-time highs and new FOMO for the altcoin market.
Love it, love it, love it. We really haven't had that blow off altcoin run. There's been a lot of mini kind of altcoin runs, you know, niche down altcoin runs. We've seen some of the blue chips run, but I think we still get that. What is in store? What's going to be the catalyst? Will we see pre-sales come back? Will memes come back? Will there be a whole new trend that comes out? Is it going to be RWA? Is it going to be DeSci? Is it going to be DPIN? Is it going to be SocialFi? Who knows? That is yet to be told, but I think that what is fairly certain is that this market has a lot of legs left underneath of it. Retail interest is just starting to peak. We showed that yesterday. Retail searches and retail interest in Web3 starting to come back in for some new cycle highs, although they drop back down pretty quickly with this dip here. So it just goes to show how fickle retail is. So if you're here now, if you've been here for the long term, grinding it out through the highs and the lows, you're in the right place. You're doing the right things that are going to pay dividends in the long run. Big story out of China here. We know China flip-flops back and forth quite a lot. Is crypto legal? Crypto isn't illegal. Bitcoin mining's legal. Bitcoin mining's not legal. Bitcoin's going to get confiscated. Go ahead and use your Bitcoin. Now we're looking at a yuan-backed stable coin and major policy shift. Could this be a signal of Chinese retail getting opened back up and coming to the markets? We know, we've seen what happens when China's retail hits the markets. It's absolutely explosive to the upside. Nick, I don't know what your thoughts are on this. Is this just another?
I think currently Bitcoin is illegal in China as of like last week or something. So, maybe they do this stablecoin policy. This, of course, we don't know what network they're going to build on, but I doubt it's going to be Neo, the Chinese Ethereum. Maybe it's going to utilize Ethereum itself or a layer 2 of Ethereum, which also would benefit ETH. But also, if they do this, then they probably make Bitcoin legal again, which brings on a new wave of buyers and holders in China. Why do they make it illegal and legal so many times? I don't know. Ask their government. Who knows what's going on over in China? But this is something that's been going on since 2017, 2016, 2018, where, it just depends on how they're feeling for the month on whether you're allowed to own and use Bitcoin or not. Xavier, do you have any opinion? I know you brought up Asia markets. It seems like you didn't have too much of an opinion, but I just want to give you a chance here to talk.
Yeah. I think China is kind of like cautious when it comes to crypto, because they know that crypto comes from the United States. They are the inventors and all that. So I think if the United States is crying about security risk on China, even China is trying to pull the same stunt over on the other side. So yeah, I think that's what's happening. But now the Chinese business people, the rich millionaires, are saying that no, we want crypto, but the government is like kind of like skeptical to bring it that side and all that, because I think they're also looking at a lot of people will start money laundering and all that. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. But I think they are going to open up in the future to crypto. They are gonna, but it's just that they're going to enhance their security and all that. So yeah.
Well, in terms of censorship, traceability, etc., you know, a stable coin on a public blockchain is a gift to governments like China. That's why in the US, they've passed the anti CBDC laws recently to keep the governments from controlling those currencies for spying on people, securing privacy for individuals. However, something that I think a lot of people are overlooking, this is happening in the US, and this is probably what China is aiming to do, the Chinese government, what they're aiming to do with these yuan backed stable coins. These stable coins are an opportunity for the governments to do essentially quantitative easing without doing the traditional quantitative easing and printing of money. The traditional method when they print money, they need people to go out and buy those bonds. Well, if instead with stable coins, this is a de facto kind of under the table way for them to get people to go out and buy bonds. If I'm BlackRock and I want to open up my own, or if I'm JP Morgan, for example, and I want to go open my own stable coin, it needs to be backed by something. I need to go out, I need to purchase dollars, or in many cases, treasury bonds, etc. Same thing for Facebook, Amazon, Google, whoever else around the world is going to open up these US dollar backed stable coins. They're very likely going to need to go and purchase things like bonds to back them with. It's a under the table backdoor way for the U.S. essentially to print money and do quantitative easing without having to come out and do it, in front of everybody's face in a very transparent manner. I would imagine that's a lot of the strategy behind what China is doing right here as well. Their currency is absolute dog shit. It's worse than our dog shit currency, and so this is a way for people to be forced essentially to go out and buy yuan, buy bonds, buy treasuries from the government, and help support their floundering currency. So I think this would, because it's a stable coin bill here, or a stable coins that they're looking into. It's not the same as them legalizing Bitcoin. Hopefully that follows. Hopefully this is a signal of them opening up the Chinese retail market once again to crypto. But I would imagine it's simply a play to one, get further ability to confiscate, censor, and monitor their population spending, but also a way to go out and trying to bolster their failing currency.
I think you said that very well. It looks like we got one more news article piece to go over, and then we'll wrap it up with Crypto Paradise website and wrap it up with Xavier giving his final thoughts on crypto as well.
Yeah, SEC Chair Atkins coming out saying there are very few tokens that are securities. Now, this is an article we covered a little bit yesterday with the post from the Kraken founder asking for his $30 million back from them. But yeah, seeing the chairman himself come out making these kind of statements, these pro-crypto statements, is a huge win for our industry. We were talking before the stream. We worked with during the bear market and in the previous cycle with a bunch of companies that made decisions that ultimately, caused the project either to not launch or to fail because they spent a bunch of money or delayed and waited too long in the markets, worrying about, are they going to be considered as security? Is the SEC going to come after them? Are they going to face legal issues? Well, now all of that has been cleared for the most part. We've had Trump launching his own token, the Trump family launching tokens with no charges being filed, in the SEC coming out and saying essentially, hey, most of this stuff is not a security. Unfortunately, being a big kind of false flag for a lot of projects in the previous cycle.
Yeah, that was interesting. Last cycle, everybody was worried about that, and now the SEC here's SEC chair saying doesn't matter, and also Hester Price is saying they're doing some kind of conference in Chicago and welcoming startups and small crypto projects to go up there to talk to them to make sure they're in the clear as well. Now, we have the Surf token, Xavier is XVR. I don't think we're quite big enough to even want to do that. But even for crypto projects, I don't know if I want to go meet face to face with SEC officials and tell them that, hey, I'm helping run a project. I think I'll avoid that myself personally. But it is definitely a big change of tone, and it definitely allows for altcoins to poise and get ready for this next major alt season.
Yeah, more and more,
Yeah, true,
markets
true,
might be
true.
red, but the news is still bullish.
What were you about to say, Xavier?
Yeah, yeah. I was going to say, it's good that I'm on Pulse Chain. It's good that I've met people like you guys. I'm learning a lot, and yeah, I don't know how far am I going to take this, but I am here to stay. And with the token that we just launched this week, I believe that we'll stick around that token up until it reaches its height. I do have positivity around the token itself, and we are building the community. And we are going to go further. I believe that there will be more tokens coming in the next coming year, because we don't want to reach this. We don't want to rush this, because I feel like with what we have right now, it's just a learning curve and making sure that we do the right thing when we start to host other tokens in the future. And I believe that Pulse Chain will be having a lot of people right now. It's making waves. I don't want to lie to you. I'm part of the top 5 influencers in South Africa, and I believe that I've been talking about Pulse Chain, and I know that they've seen my posts. And it's a matter of time that Pulse Chain comes to South Africa and we start doing major things. Yeah, man, I'm just grateful for everything. So yeah.
Well, man, I know you're new to the crypto journey, and you are new to how all of this works, whether it's the different networks, tokens, how they work, how the retail market and the institutional markets combine together. But this is where we all started out, in the early days, and I think that's a great opportunity for you and your community. As you are new, you are learning as you go. Document your journey, man. As if you find something useful, whether it's an article, a video, something someone tells you, passes knowledge on to you, an alpha group, a community like the Crypto Paradise community, where you've got people chatting, sharing their experiences, sharing alpha, having learning moments there. Share that with your audience. Document your journey as you go along, and so that your journey, your audience, who, as you mentioned, is mostly non Web3 as well, can learn the same along the same journey with you there. So we need more people out there evangelizing for crypto. Retail is silent. We're gonna have a whole bunch of our friends and family and all the normies at the end of this market going, "Oh man, I should have got Bitcoin. I should have done this. I should have done that." When we're all sitting on the beach someday, they're gonna go, I wish I woulda." And so guys like you are out there helping to bring those people in, so that they can bring their friends in and create that cascade to try and help change as many people's lives as possible. That's been the mission of Crypto Paradise, is to get out of the 9 to 5, and get to whatever it is that your paradise is. And so guys like you that are new here, but have a huge audience, that have a lot of pull, like you said, one of the biggest influencers in South Africa, man, you can do a whole lot of good with your channel, and helping educate and bring people into this space and doing it the right way. So props to you, man.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Nate. I can see where the future is going. Even Nick, sometimes I do go to Nick and be like, bro, what does this term mean? How do you do this? How do you do that? And then he does advise me here and there and all that. So yeah, but he doesn't even go too deep. He just tells me, do this, do that, do this, avoid this, don't do that, and all that. And I'm so much grateful for that. I believe that whatever that you guys are doing to me, you'll be able to do it in the next coming generation that will be joining Pulse Chain. So yeah, it's a great thing.
Yeah, if you want to learn more about Crypto Paradise, everybody who's watching, go to cryptoparadise.net. We got all the tabs here. You can see everything we do, from marketing services, social media, advisory services, and of course the Surf token. Surf token is on Pulse Chain. It is a DAO token, a meme-tility token over there, and go ahead and get involved. Every trade that occurs, there is a token tax, so make sure to increase your slippage to 6%. But those token taxes are used to better the Surf token and reward the holders of the Surf. So simply by holding Surf, you get rewarded more Surf based on trading volume. The DAO gets funds. They go ahead and vote on how those are used. So far, they voted to use all those funds to buy more surf and add it to liquidity pools. You need 200,000 surf or more to be in that vote to have the voting power. And then, of course, based on trading volume, there's automatically buys and burns of surf and LP adds of surf. So far, almost 3% of the total supply of surf has already been burnt. And yeah, get on here. I won't dredge on about surf, but learn more. Click through these tabs, see how you can get involved, and all the different opportunities that Crypto Paradise has. And hopefully, we can help you guys, whether you're buying surf, or Pulse Chain, or Ethereum. We can give you our opinions, get you good entries, and kind of change your financial future and your financial literacy in the biggest opportunity this mankind has ever seen, which is blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies.
Absolutely. The community's free to join. Lots of knowledge and alpha going around in there. We've got multiple tabs for general talk. We've got the mini app channel. We're just wrapping up the crypto or the Tordes airdrop, which was $25,000 at public ground value of crypto or of Tordes tokens. It's all through the mini app, all through the Crypto Paradise community. So great place to go, get educated, as well as many opportunities to win free crypto, NFTs, and more. So definitely go check that out, guys. If you're new to the space, if you're coming over from Xavier's audience, I have no idea what's going on in crypto. Our community on Telegram is a great place to start. Yeah, other than that, I think we're ready to wrap it up here. Xavier, man, thank you so much for joining us today. So stoked that you made your way into crypto, and really looking forward to continue to watch you on your journey to become an expert in blockchain and help educate the masses in South Africa and worldwide, bro.
Yeah, just to finalize it, I would really like to learn more from you guys and start working with you guys. Since I do have the audience, I wouldn't mind to share most of the work that you guys are doing. I would really much appreciate that. Nick, you can also take me on your work. I can just post your guys' work on my page and make sure that we move forward from that. So yeah, I just pinned. If you scroll down a bit, I just made a pin of the university. But now I think I lost the link of the Telegram channel. I don't know. I just pinned the link of the thing. Yeah. I just need the Telegram channel. I lost the link.
Yeah, I would just I would just, whenever you find the Telegram channel again, just add it to your bio, probably. Just, right here instead of pulsechain.com, maybe have the Telegram handle for Xavier University. That way people get into your community as well, and that would probably make a lot of sense. And then, yeah, keeping this pin makes sense as they can kind of learn a little bit about Xavier University, learn about the meme, and of course they have the contract here, so you can post this anywhere to learn about it, figure out how to buy it, how to get involved, or if it fits your risk parameter for your portfolio. But I think the reason that people are starting to embrace you on Pulse Chain and crypto is it takes people like you, non-crypto natives, to come into crypto, and that's how we grow this thing and get the next retail wave and the next wave of adoption going.
Yeah, I just put the Telegram link on the on up there. Yeah, it's there. The Telegram group for the Xavier University. It's already up there. If you can restart it, then you're gonna see it.
Perfect. There it is.
So that's it.
Awesome, man. Well, thanks again for joining us. Thank you for all the people that tuned in on the live stream here. Looks like we had a few coming in on YouTube. YouTube numbers are slowly growing. We don't focus a ton on the YouTube side of things, but on Twitter or Telegram, where we can't speak today. On Twitter, where we usually are. Our most of our audience is watching. Over 330 people tuned in. Shout out to all of you guys. Hope you guys learned something today. Hope you got some alpha. And we'll be back again here tomorrow, same time, same people. We should have Amaru back with us from the Paradise Pad. Until then, see you on the beach.